Hey, Chris Lipe here with former Dance Gavin Dance, Slaves, and Emarosa singer Johnny Craig. And in this video, we're talking about belting, according to you.
The king of belt.
If you want to go way deeper with Johnny Craig vocally, and you need the perfect place to start,
Click the link below. It's called Find Your Voice and Let It Kill You, and I will take you deeper than you've ever been.
so when we talk about belting, what we're really talking about is two things: placement and dynamics. We're talking about where that sound feels like it's resonating, but we're also referring to the type of power that comes out. And typically with belting, we associate that with loud stuff, right? You know, how do we belt? We get really loud and aggressive. But what you just demonstrated, if you dissect what you're doing in the line we just listened to, there's belting that's happening that's using a slight range of dynamics. You're taking that high note that we grounded on, right? And sometimes there's a little bit more in there, sometimes there's a little bit less. So we're going to unpack that a little bit, because it's tempting to think about belting as, well, this is my belt voice, it's always one volume. But you do a really good job of exercising dynamics within your belt range. So the two notes that you opened up each phrase with, each breath,
Yeah, each breath that we take.
yeah, and you were doing that obviously an octave higher.
Yeah.
The different textures, I want you to walk me through the different ways that you approached that note in your belt range.
Yeah. It's about visualizing being on top of that note. So you gotta sit there and you think, okay, each breath that we take. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So each breath that we take, and you kind of just picture yourself on top of that each time.
Because sometimes it was clean,
Yeah.
sometimes it was a bit more raspy,
Yeah.
but they were all belts.
Yeah, it's about picturing yourself on top of the note, and then also using it, kind of think of it like a gas pedal. You're pushing on it to go real hard, you're letting go a little bit to soften it. So when you do each breath that we take, you got to let off a little bit to give it that smoothness. But to belt, you got to rev it. You got to give it that gas.
So you're not thinking about one level of support, one level of volume to get that. It's an arc, right?
Yeah.
It's this idea that, if I were to exaggerate what you just did, is each breath we take, and you've got that one note that you're really honing in on and focusing on. That allows you to create almost the illusion that you've got this energy the whole time, but it's in the dynamics, it's in that arc that creates.
They're all melting together.
That gas pedal analogy is really good, because if I were to take one level and try to do that, each breath we take, that kind of just sounds like I'm shouting.
Yeah.
But if we do it the way you were doing it,
each breath that we take.
I especially notice it when you're on the back end of that. You push into it, and I don't mean push like, you can see that you're thinking down on the note. Yeah. But you're letting it trail off. So the key to belting is to have a consciousness of the range of dynamics within the phrase. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Start, middle, and end. Always have a good picture in your mind of what it's going to be, where you're going to hit, and where it's going to come down.
So the rest of that phrase, no matter the distance, you're still pretty up in terms of energy-wise.
Yep.
It's not where you were up there at the breath. It's not that.
Yeah.
Where are you on the gas pedal with that part?
I'd say that's about the middle. And what it is for me, what I like to call it is a connector. It's and especially, and that comes in with like melodies and stuff like that. It's what I like to call a connector piece. It helps you get from that high top. You know, you want to give someone an energy in the beginning, and then it helps you to connect into the next part. You want to be nice and level at the gas pedal with that, because you want to be able to show the range, like rev, you know, let all the way up where it's like soft, you know. You want to get that nice, and your foot's there, it's ready to hit, you know, but you're also conscious.
So we talked about the energy, using the analogy of the gas pedal, and the dynamic portion of this. Let's talk about placement. Go ahead and sing that each breath we take a few times, and sometimes place it a bit raspier, sometimes place it a bit more forward, and sometimes back it off, that high belt note.
Okay.
Do that a couple times, and then I'm going to do that with my own voice, and we'll kind of go back and forth and make some observations about it.
Okay. All right, so each breath we take. You want me to keep doing that one? Or?
Yeah.
Each breath we take. Each breath we take.
A few more times?
Okay. Each breath we take.
Ooh.
Each breath we take.
So those other notes down there, the take, I hear a very forward, almost like it's vibrating in the very front of your mouth. Take, take,
take, take, take. It's kind of like you can mute yourself a little bit without hitting that crazy topness or whatever.
So even on some of those lower notes, take, there's this aspect of you bringing it backward and forward, and when you sense the brightness, when you sense that forward presence, that's the belt.
Yeah.
And we can workshop this a little bit just on that one note, and this is talking about placement versus forward and back.
It's the more like a natural filter.
Right.
Almost, if you think about it.
So if you want to dial in your belt in terms of placement, think about, let's take that one note. Take, I'm open, take, but it's not resonating as forward as it could be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take, take.
Yeah.
I'm visualizing.
Take.
Yeah, you hear it there too.
Yeah, it's kind of losing the filter a little bit, so just let it up.
I'm focusing on my teeth, the front of my teeth. It's really what you do with your mind. Your muscles will follow your mind. And what he demonstrates when he's doing these passages is that dynamic movement. Even if he doesn't realize he's doing it, sometimes it's breath, and sometimes it's breath, breath, breath. Back focused on your soft palate, breath, versus focused on the front of your face. Focusing on your teeth, getting your face out of the way. How you choose to place that note determines the quality of the belt. So, we're going to go back and we're going to listen again to what you did with that in context. And in your own mind, try to place what he's doing as he's doing it. Does it feel further back? Breath! Does it feel forward? Breath! 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 Which is it? Not just on that note, but all over there.
Yeah, another big thing about it too is enunciation, especially when you're talking about, you know, the front, your teeth and stuff, the air that comes in and out of your mouth. That's a big part of it. So it has to do with words. Words are huge. Picking the right word to make sure that is the belt word, because you want to be able to have that, you know, openness.
The right vowel.
Yeah, exactly. You want to have that enunciation to where it can just boom, power through.
Right.
And so you have to make sure you pick that properly.
Right, and that's strategic in that phrase. Breath is a nice and take, breath, take, breath, take. They're all very open.
Breath we take. Yeah. So it's.
Very good. All right, so listening to this isolated, listening for those dynamic placement changes. Is it further back towards the soft palate? Is it forward? And then using your own mouth, using your own sensory perception of your face to create a similar feel. You don't even have to sing to do this. All you have to do is sort of mouth and experience along with what Johnny's singing. Then try it for yourself. But what we're doing is we're focusing on the placement of it. And I'll stop it and start it and talk. And you're going to, the belted notes are really going to come out. But keep that arc in mind. Because like we said at the beginning, it's not all belted. There's an arc around each belt.
It's breath we take.
Even right there, the breath. I mean, that was forward and supported and then take. Take.
Supportive note. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the belt and then you have the supportive note. Each breath we take.
Each breath we take.
Yes.
And that's what brings the belted quality out. Yeah. This is not each breath we take.
Yeah.
It's not what it is. That's not interesting. Okay?
Together no matter.
Okay, now there.
Yeah. Together no matter.
And the was the really forward one, right?
Yep, nice pronunciation. Together no matter. Each breath we take. No matter the distance.
You really on that vowel. The
say.
That was really far back, right?
No matter the distance, it's breath we take.
Now there, you kept that higher and you kept the whole thing belted. In other words, forward, face out of the way, focusing on that vowel like you were talking about, right?
No matter the distance.
Now distance, that was not a belted placement, right? Mm-hmm. No matter the distance. That was.
No matter the distance.
That was further back, right? You could totally. If you would have done the distance, that's not what you did, right?
You bring it down a little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
It's breath we take. Together no matter.
Now this note was beautiful because we had no matter. I mean, really brought that forward. And then in the same, over the same vowel, you modified it to be unbelty. So if I were to exaggerate it, it's matter, right? You
kind of leaned on it a little bit.
Yeah, you leaned back out of it.
Yeah.
You
no matter, like that. Yeah.
And you're moving that placement around in a way that, I mean, it's neat that we have you on such a nice mic so you can hear that different.
Together no matter.
So focus on this dynamic placement within the context of your belting. Forward, more energy, moderate with the gas pedal, bringing it back towards your soft palate, bringing that placement back towards your soft palate, and creating arcs with your phrases inspired by Johnny Craig. Again, if you like the vibe of these videos and you want to go deeper with Johnny, way deeper than you've ever been, click the link below and join the free course. What's it called again?
Find your voice and let it kill you.
We'll see you for more.